2-year-old son still loves to replay the video of his grandmother losing her shit last December because who she thinks is room service knocking on her cruise cabin door is actually her 60th birthday surprise. Me and my son, my sister, my brother, his 2 sons, their mother, my aunt and cousin. Shout out to my stepdad for pulling this off because it was pure magic. So over the next 4 days, we would set sail to the Grand Cayman Islands and Jamaica. And if you know anything about cruises, then you know that the most obnoxious part of them is the actual visit at your destination because they're really brief and stupid. So when we got to the Grand Caymans, it was nice, it was pretty, and that's all I can say about it because our visit there was about as long as I have on this stage. But as we made our way to Jamaica, I prepared myself for something far more meaningful than, you know, pretty sand and clear water. I guess what you should know is that my mom and my aunt were born and raised in Montego Bay, Jamaica. And they left when they were in their 20s, and they never looked back. Let's just say that their childhood experience of the island was nothing remotely like the feel all right vibes that Jamaica is known for. So this was a bittersweet homecoming for them. As we disembarked the ship in Jamaica, I was met with the most staged, most off-brand, watered-down version of the island. And if you know cruises, then you know that when you get to port, there's just all this stereotypical shit that's there when you get off the ship. So over here were the men in their fake dreadlock caps and mesh t-shirts selling Bob Marley t-shirts and pipes. Over here were the women in their, you know, selling wrap skirts and curry and spices. And then ahead of me were steel drum musicians, and they were playing a song that was way too familiar. And I was like, what is that? And when we got closer, I was like, is that Step in the Name of Love by R. Kelly? Like, what the where am I? And at that moment, I wanted to run far out of earshot of that song and any resemblance of the Pied Piper. But my mom loves R. Kelly, and you couldn't tell her anything in that moment. I mean, she just danced in pure bliss. And what was I gonna do? So I just joined in, right, with my son. And don't sit there and judge me like you've never sacrificed your morals for a good 2-step. I will not be judged. So with only a few hours on the island, we decided to take a guided tour through Falmouth, Jamaica, which is a historic town about 18 miles east of Montego Bay. And I could feel the heaviness of familial history sinking into my mother's chest as the tour guide was pointing out popular landmarks. My aunt, on the other hand, was on the phone with her sister, my Aunt Phyllis, who lived on the other side of the island. They were trying to coordinate a place and time to meet up. And this would be my first time meeting Aunt Phyllis, and her first time seeing her sisters in over 30 years. So she did what any family member would do when family's coming to town. She starts cooking, she's in the kitchen, she's making curry goat and rice and peas and all of this stuff. Completely ignoring my aunt who was telling her we wouldn't have enough time to eat once we got off this tour. So with a little over an hour left, this tour was long, y'all. It was stupid, it was long, but it was beautiful, right? Jamaica's hills and mountains and just beauty. We get dropped off at Doctor's Cave, which is a popular beach in Montego Bay, and Aunt Phyllis is driving across town with a whole West Indian feast riding shotgun. And we're trying to lay out on the beach and enjoy the sun, but every few minutes my aunt would get up and walk to the street to see if Aunt Phyllis was pulling up to save time so she wouldn't have to waste time trying to find us. And about 20 minutes before we're supposed to get back on the bus, the skies open up in pure island fashion and let out this heavy, relentless rain. So we're all gathering our stuff, like all 10 and 11 of us, trying to seek cover underneath a canopy with like 60 other beachgoers. And as I'm standing there waiting for the rain to let up, I start to try to imagine what Aunt Phyllis looks like, you know, and I start to worry that I wouldn't actually get to see her. And just then, my aunt's phone rang and she darts into the crowds of tourists, and I lose her for a moment, and she disappears into the sea of people, and when she reemerges, there's a woman behind her with the same nose and smile, and at that moment I knew that she was my aunt, and there was no denying our relation. And she goes and she hugs my mom so tight, and when they pull away from each other, there's tears in their eyes. And there's joy and pain and longing in their faces, and in that moment I wanted to just freeze time, and the rain was still falling, but that was okay because that meant we had to stay close to each other under that canopy, crowded together. And just as she's getting through hugging everybody, the tour guide yells out that it's time to get back on the bus. And for the first time in my life, I knew what it felt like to miss a connection to someone I didn't even know. Thank you.